DrudgeReport.com today, you will notice that he continues to point out that every few days the rebels claim they've got Gaddafi cornered and he'll be dead within days. And there's the headline, "No surrender, says Gaddafi. Let Libya be engulfed in flames. It is a civil war, a humanitarian disaster," as Colonel Schaefer and others predicted, as we predicted as well. Gaddafi said to be in Desert Town. Reportedly, his family got out last week. He could have left. He's deciding to stand and fight. Say what you want about him. He's certainly not like the globalist scumbags we have running things who are cowardly on top of being scum. Something more respectable about being a dictator who will actually fight. Also, rebels claim to be closing in. The Al-Qaeda rebels I'm supposed to love. I don't like Gaddafi or them, sorry, and I really don't like Al-Qaeda because I'm a bad person, I guess. Also, they've extended the rebel deadline another week. Now, this news is up on Infowars.com as well, but Drudge arranges it so well. Now, if you scroll down, this news was up there yesterday. Drudge Report has it. Man faces life in jail for recording police. I'm glad the folks over at the Drudge Report realize that's a big article. And we point to the local newscast where they say it's illegal to tape police. And we wrote an article exposing that it's a hoax, and the cops know full well it's not illegal, which is really scary. If anything gets me scared, most of these cops I know mean well and got a tough job, but in some areas they're actual criminals. And trying to put a guy life in prison, I mean, one thing if it was a corrupt cop didn't want something taped and grabbed a camera away or something, that's bad enough. They're going to put him in jail for prison, I mean for life. And then under it, Drudge linked to our latest article, appeals court rules it is not illegal to film police. And we'll show folks that article as well. So double linked up on Drudge. And I've asked everybody to go get these articles and get them out to everybody you know. Both the article about man faces life in jail for recording police publicly. And the second article, appeals court rules it is not illegal to film police. Despite the mass hoax still being promulgated by the mainstream media and local authorities across America, the First Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled that it's not illegal for citizens to videotape police officers when they're on public duty. Really, no kidding. There's no presumption of privacy in public. That's common law. Here's what's scary. When we did the research for this article yesterday, the first article, there are literally hundreds of court cases, federal and state, where the cops arrest people in the last few years and it gets thrown out. But rarely does it get thrown out at the county level. It has to go to a higher court. What suddenly happened to our local courts where these prosecutors know full well there's no presumption of privacy in public? That's how the police tape us. I mean, it really is scary that in 12 states you've got crook cops and crook prosecutors, and it had to go to one of the top federal courts. I mean, above that appellate is the Supreme Court. I mean, how would a cop sleep at night? How would a prosecutor with some auto mechanic with no criminal record, and you're trying to put him in a box, in a cage for life? I feel bad when I travel and put the dogs in a travel cage for 5 hours driving because they don't like it, and I can't communicate with them, and they think they're in trouble. I mean, how on earth, where is your basic humanity? What? Well, where is it in North Korea or Nazi Germany or Soviet Russia or China? I mean, usually it isn't there. If you let corrupt people get in, they will recruit more corrupt people and we'll all be slaves. I'm going to say it right here. This miscarriage of justice, this false prosecution, this official oppression, this false arrest, manipulating juries and lying to them. People are getting convicted, going to jail for that stuff, who don't have money and don't know their rights. These police are guilty of all sorts of different crimes. Racketeering, official oppression. I call it modern-day slavery, putting you in one of these prison factories, you know, building stuff for 25 cents an hour. Until prosecutors start getting indicted, and until cops start getting indicted for this, none of us are safe. Because I know 3 cases where my listeners have been arrested for absolutely no reason for giving out my videos. And then when I have called and talked to the newspaper reporters, the judges involved, they go, no, Mr. Rushing was very polite, didn't do anything. But they see these videos as threatening to police and charging with terroristic threats for a Ron Paul speech in one of my films. I mean, and then after he beat him in court, that's a rural area, he and his buddy were riding horses one Sunday afternoon, and they arrested him for drunken riding a horse, and Kelly didn't drink. He's not a drinker. And I couldn't believe that, so I called people randomly out of the online phone book in the town. And then they're like upstanding goody two-shoes. So next, the state police took him to jail for riding horses drunk. I mean, what happened to these men that they are so low down and have no honor that you would want to do something to somebody for no reason who's done nothing to you, and that you could sleep at night trying to put somebody in jail? Now, most police are not like that. I'm going to tell you right now that the system is trying to convert police over to this. I'm going to be honest. I've told this story. I've run into LAPD on the street that are, Alex Jones, we love your show. New York, you know, cops that do know me are nice. Others act like thugs. That's really the worst place I've been. I've been pulled over by the state police, I don't know, probably 7 times in the last 10 years, and I've been let off all but twice. I have had Austin police let me off tickets repeatedly. Just happened a few months ago. So, and I'm not saying that's the mark of a good cop letting me out of a ticket, but, you know, telling me they're listeners to the show, well, just drive safer, I'm going to give you a warning, I give most people a warning, blah, blah, blah. You know, but, you know, one time one pulled me over, he goes, well, I'm going to still give you a ticket, but I like your show. That was out by near Crawford. I mean, you're driving through cornfields, and there's a school way back up some gravel road, and you don't see a little 40-mile. You're going 60, it goes to 40, and then back to 60. Clearly a speed trap. And I said, this is a speed trap, and you know it. And he goes, well, that's what it's marked. I like your show. By the way, I heard this part of the show, but I'm still giving you the ticket. I'm not going to give you any favors. And then I didn't have my insurance. It was out of date. And he goes, no, I believe you got insurance. So I guess he, look, and I'm not saying that's the mark of a good cop that they like me or nice to me. I know most of you are just out there doing a job. But, man, you've got to speak out against trying to put some auto mechanic in jail for life over videotaping. I mean, is that the country you want your kids growing up in? And 12 states are doing it. I mean, they're arresting people, and it's spreading. Just 6 months ago or so, it was like 9 states. All right, I'm going to shut up and go to your calls, and I got some other news, but it's just been an overload today.